going to make you sleep well tonight, Foodie, when you hear that, huh, buddy? It's Foodie's over there conducting the orchestra. I'm looking at the brackets. There were schools I went, how the hell did Wagner make it in? They were D3 football when I was in school. I know that our friend Doug Phelps wrestled there, but they were D1 in wrestling.
Wagner University originated here in Rochester.
I didn't know that. Before they went to Staten Island?
Yep.
The good ones eventually leave.
I didn't know that.
Back in the 1800s, it was
1800s. Wow.
established here.
Okay, as what? Was it a Catholic?
Lutheran.
A Lutheran church. I knew there was some religious affiliation. Excuse me, it's the whiskey that I didn't know. Well, so Wagner though, I go, how does Wagner get in? Syracuse not in. St. John's not in.
Wagner won their conference.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, it's Wagner.
St. John's
there are 16.
Yes, I know. Well, they won a playing game.
They did,
and they're taking out UNC, right? Or
they are.
Yeah, in their first game.
And Syracuse sucked this year again.
They didn't suck.
They had some games.
Do you have any extra brackets?
I don't.
Yes.
And,
that's
and
nice.
Foodie has. Oh, Foodie does. I
I
apologize.
want to look. No.
Yes. No. Everybody should have a bracket, and I don't know what I do with my bracket, but I have.
I'm not going to fill it out, but I
Quinnipiac
read
was
along.
supposed to
Quinnipiac.
get in, but they didn't win their bracket. They didn't win the back this year.
No, but okay. So and then there's other schools in there. I think Duquesne hasn't been in since '77, and they're back in. I don't know. Who do you have as an upset? Early on upset.
I have Duquesne.
Do you have Duquesne?
Yeah, I have Duquesne too, apparently.
I had BYU beating Duquesne. I
No,
still
I
think
have
BYU is
Duquesne.
going to go and beat them.
I have
Well,
Alabama.
that's a possibility.
I have Alabama winning the national championship.
You
I've
do?
just decided. Yep.
Really?
Nate Oates.
I have, Nate Oates, who used to be in Buffalo.
Yeah, it's funny because the funniest thing was everybody fell in love with this guy at Buffalo, rightfully so. He had taken over for Bobby Hurley. People didn't like the way Hurley had left for Arizona State, even though it was a huge jump. He needed to do it. By the way, where's Arizona State now? And so Nate Oates takes over. UB's amazing, right? Everybody's celebrating, waving palms at him. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're like, wait, it looks like he's changed his background on Twitter to the University of Alabama. Like, they didn't bother remotely, the media in Buffalo, never even considered the fact that maybe he would leave. And now he had a huge contract extension. He's one of the 5 best coaches in college basketball.
Yeah.
Why would he leave Buffalo? That's why. Right there.
It's a little warmer in Alabama, too.
Who do you have as your Elite Eight?
My
Foodie?
Elite 8
As
goes
we go through.
like this.
Okay.
UConn,
I have UConn.
Iowa State,
I have Iowa.
UNC,
I have UNC.
Baylor.
Baylor. I have Baylor. Wow, we got the same. Oh, so out of the East and the West, we have the same brackets in the 8, going to the 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Houston.
Houston's hot.
I didn't really go much off
Yeah,
the
I didn't.
chalk line.
I did go off the chalk line, and I have Duke beating Houston.
Oh. Okay.
No, but you think Houston? You're probably right.
I
Go
know
on.
I have Houston, Marquette,
Okay.
Purdue, and Creighton.
Okay, you pick Creighton. Why do you pick Creighton?
I just think, they're playing well.
Yeah, they are.
And, they're getting a lot of chatter on the lines,
Okay.
so
How much will you bet on DraftKings?
on DraftKings,
Are you on DraftKings?
yeah.
Yeah.
We bet $20 a game.
In-house, right? For yourself in the basement?
No, on the DraftKings.
On DraftKings. $20 a game.
All 63 games. 60
Okay, do you
7 games.
is it just straight up, or are you betting
spreads.
spreads? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We bet the spreads.
The spreads are impossible in college, I would think.
They are really tough.
Yeah, they
But,
are.
I have some trends that I go by.
What are the trends? What is the key to figuring this out? How do
there's
you
some
make
trends.
a perfect bracket?
Well, you can't make a perfect bracket. There's no such thing.
That's why there's like a $10 million.
Of course there is.
Warren Buffett puts up $10 million every year. Nobody can
You can't
come close.
You can't do it.
It's like 1% of all bracket, less than 1%
Well, one
of
out of three people this year are expected to fill out a bracket, whether it be in some online betting, gambling in some official manner, or just like here. So that's a lot when you think about it.
There's 2 things that you can do that have worked in the past.
Okay.
Now, this is not advice. Gambling is a risk.
Please gamble
Thank
responsibly.
you for the disclaimer. I appreciate it. It is a risk.
If you bet the money line on every game,
Yeah.
there's upsets. every year, right?
Yeah, there are.
Beats
Ton.
at 2,
Yeah.
14 beats at 3. You only need,
But they're usually winning by a point or two.
but that doesn't matter if you're betting money line.
That's what I mean. I was just
Right.
going to say, right?
Straight up.
Right, straight up. So the payouts are higher, right?
Yeah.
You'd be up, I think it was last year was like close to $1,100 if you bet $100 a game.
Wow.
You'd be up 1,100.
$1,100.
The year before that was good too.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't do that.
That's a little crazy.
It's just blind betting.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and it's going to catch up to you. That's why there's lines.
Yeah.
But generally, you know, everybody talks about the 12s against the 5s.
Yes.
And over the last few
The
years,
9 and the 8s to me are the most impossible to pick.
the 9 and the 8s, you always take the points.
Yeah.
That's just like
Because you get 9
that's the
seeds.
trend.
Yeah.
Right? You always take the points, and then you fade them the next round. The 9s have won like 11 games in the last 16 years. It's ridiculous how bad they are in the second round. So if
Really?
the 9 wins, the 8s are a little better. I think they have like 16 wins. Somebody's going to fact check me. Don't, 'cause I'm not right.
No one's going to fact check you. Trust me.
Right.
30% of Americans plan on doing a bracket, and more than half of them will put some money on it.
So yeah, and then
So that's only 15% of people. Well, I thought it was higher than that.
there's billions bet on them.
Well, yeah, there is. It's a lot of money. It's big business.
But then the 11s. I like taking the points with the 11 seeds.
You do.
Yeah, and there's always a play-in team, 10 or 11, that makes it to the Sweet 16.
Wagner was a playing team. They beat
Yeah, but they're
Howard.
16.
Yeah. Okay, but they could upset. Who was sort of the last Cinderella team to go? Who was it last year? There was a team.
FAU made the
Yeah,
Final
FAU,
Four.
right. Yeah.
And St. Peter's made
Yes.
a run.
Yes, they did.
Was that last year or the year
Yeah,
before?
I think it
2
was
years
last
ago.
year. Or was it 2 years ago,
2 years
Kevin?
ago.
The nun, right?
No, that was Saint. No, it's
They're out of
St.
Chicago,
Mary's.
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's had the
Nun.
No,
The
was
Nun.
that
Loyola Chicago? No, Loyola Chicago. That's
Had
who it
the
was.
Nun.
I can't remember.
Loyola Chicago had Sister Jean.
Yeah, is she still alive?
Oh yeah,
She is?
yeah.
She's got to be over 100 now.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Look at that. All right.
So-
So, all right. So, Foodie, who do you have taking it all?
I have UNC winning it all. So
Do you have Purdue even making it to the Final Four?
I don't.
You
'cause
do
they
not.
choke every year.
They do choke.
I do,
they-
but this
bunch
might be
of
their year.
They were
Might
the first.
be.
This might be their
16 they were
best
the
year.
First one to lose out.
I
last year.
picked Purdue to take it all. I have UConn Purdue as my
Oh.
final two.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have UConn.
My Final
You
Four
have
is
UConn? No team is back to back since Florida.
Yeah.
06 and 07.
Well, I
It's
mean-
05, 06.
You got to think
Oh,
this.
506.
UConn
Yeah.
just wins titles for some reason in
They
basketball.
do. They're incredible.
There's a lot of basketball in a short period of time for these guys when you think about all the number of games that they're all playing. And
That's why
To run through.
one of the upsets I do have is Samford beating Kansas.
okay,
They have no bench, 0. They just lost their leading scorer to season-ending injury. Dickerson, their big guy, he's been banged up with the shoulder. I think I heard they have the least amount of bench points in all of the tournament.
Wagner is a local kid too. I heard this morning. Melvin Council Jr.
Okay.
plays for Wagner.
all right.
Where's he from?
I believe Melvin Council was a Greece kid, maybe City. I'm not sure. I know I've heard the father's name.
Mm.
Played somewhere.
Is that
too.
Melvin Council?
Senior,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's good.
But I heard they won their conference with like 7 healthy players.
Yeah,
They
they
had
don't
no
have a
bench.
lot.
They do not.
They're another team with no bench. They don't turn the ball over. I watched that game last night. They were very efficient till the last 2 minutes of the game.
They were up big for a while, and that game
Yeah.
got close. We took it away, and I'm like, oh, the game's close now. What the hell?
I've been hearing about UConn having this specialized Princeton offense that everybody's talking about. That it's like the Princeton offense on steroids, which is what Kentucky used to run when Calipari was in his heyday there. So what's the difference with this offense? Why is this so spectacular?
I don't.
You don't know?
That's a good question.
Okay, all right.
Let me look it up on the word.
I thought you'd know this stuff. Usually when people ask me sports questions, I know the answer.
Oh my God! It comes to oh.
Seriously.
Really?
You're
if
going
he
to pretend
does-
to be an expert. Pretend to be an expert.
And if he doesn't, he
Even
makes
if you
up.
got to make it up.
And if he doesn't, he makes up a conspiracy about why he
Yeah.
doesn't know.
Well, listen.
Yeah, but I have an answer.
They are number 1 in adjusted offense.
There you go. See?
And
There it is. There it is. You got the answer,
See?
Foodie.
Suck
You
it.
came
That's
it
all
out.
right.
I don't know why.
You pulled it out.
The Princeton offense is different from Princeton. I haven't broken down the tape.
The
Dan could have made that up too.
we went to 64 teams, or the tournament went to 64 teams. Excuse me. in '85. Villanova wins that year. They come in as a 9 seed.
Raleigh Massimino.
Raleigh Massimino. I remember this because they were on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and I used to get it as a kid. And they called it the perfect game. Georgetown Villanova, I think, was the finals that year.
Yes, it was.
And the point guard, Gary McLean, Gary said he smoked a lot of pot like in high school and stuff. And when he got to the Villanova campus, he started doing cocaine. Then he started dealing cocaine, and he got addicted to cocaine. And before one of the games in that year in the tournament, he did a couple bumps in the bathroom and then went out and played. He was sober when he won Most Outstanding Player of the Year or of the tournament. I think it was Most Outstanding Player of the tournament in '85. And then he said on their way to the White House to meet Reagan, he did a couple of bumps of cocaine in the bus bathroom. And I'm like, Nancy Reagan was anti. And the guy's whole point now is like, I think he was picked by the Nets, but never played an NBA game. I don't think he ever went anywhere. So I don't know. I had read this story today. If I'm recalling it right, I didn't take many notes on it. And I thought, well, that kind of explains a lot. Now he got sober in '05, and he's been on kind of a mission to talk about the dangers of drugs and things. But I go,
All he's going to do is walk around with a picture of Len Bias.
True, but how do you do it when you were the guy? Danny, the guy won Most Outstanding Player of the tournament, had an
He's
amazing.
all excited about it, He's jacked up.
Some guys can handle coke.
Oh, well, he used to party after, and then he did some during. I mean, he's high on cocaine in a game.
Well, there's like Super Bowl highlights of Hollywood Henderson against the Steelers with like a vial of coke in his drawstring in his pants. They actually show it, like circle it.
Well, didn't Lawrence Taylor get all coked up before games too,
yeah.
and just go nuts?
Oh yeah.
out on
Well,
the field?
you know the story about Lawrence Taylor. So Chris Sims, Phil Sims' son, tells this great story about how one day at 6 o'clock in the morning, his father's getting ready to like do a game, and Lawrence Taylor's all dressed up from the club the night before. Knocks on Phil's door. Chris opens the door. Hey, Mr. Taylor, what are you doing here? I got to talk to your dad. So Phil comes downstairs. Goes, what's the matter, Lawrence? We got a game in 5 hours. Yeah, there's this golf club that I wanted to try, and no one's there right now. I don't want to be heckled, and I know you and I wear the same sneaker size, so I was wondering if I could borrow your golf shoes so I could go try out this guy's course. He goes, we got a game at 1 o'clock. Yeah, I know. I'll be there. He goes and plays 18 holes of golf, gets to the stadium 2 hours before game time, has like 4 sacks during the game, and then afterwards goes and parties some more. The guy never went to bed. And then it would have the game of his life.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
That's amazing. That is amazing. When does it wear off?
Well, you just
Like, I
keep
don't-
doing more.
Yeah, you
Well,
must.
so you burn a hole through your nose or your heart?
I don't know because you got to. Yeah,
I don't know anything.
I don't know much about it. Yeah.
I don't know anything about it.
Never.
I've never touched
Never?
that.
Yep,
I've never touched
never.
anything.
All right. All right. Maybe.
We're all a bunch of goody
Oh,
two
no, I
shoes
might have
here.
one
Well, now they
time,
cut
one
that
time,
stuff with
that's-
other stuff.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
fentanyl.
Yeah, don't do it.
scary.
Yeah, don't.
Don't
I
do
found
drugs.
cocaine in a client's home.
Oh yeah.
Not long ago.
Well, cocaine's still.
White House? You were doing the White House?
No.
Danny.
Why?
Cocaine is still pretty prevalent. I
yeah.
was out a couple years ago, and I had somebody say to me, "Whip out a small bag," and I was like, "No thanks." And they almost got insulted.
It's at the wealthy clients'
Yeah,
homes. when I'm in
it's
that
always
they're
the
always
wealthy.
like,
The
yeah.
people that I was with were extremely wealthy.
Yep.
And but Webster, what's the nice place out in Webster? The Water something.
Water's Edge, the
Water's
apartments.
Edge. No, that's the apartments. There's I'm forgetting, and I forget the name of the development. They lived in there.
Oh,
Wisteria.
Water Song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I live right across from it.
Yeah. So they lived in there.
Shit, I shouldn't.
they lived in there, and I remember being out, and they're like, hey, it pulls it out of the back pocket, and I go, no, thanks. Oh, you're not cool? I go, no, I think I'm very cool. I just have no desire to do that right now. And that's how
We worked at a radio company that had these Christmas parties.
Yeah.
And the next morning, they found an empty baggie in the bathrooms. It looked like it had like white residue. And the general manager goes, should we call the police?
For what?
And one of the jocks goes, no.
Yeah, I would have said, yeah, let's
he
see what
goes,
happens.
Let me try it. Oh, that's definitely cocaine. See,
Yeah, you used to like cocaine used to be the drug that they would bring you to play new music and stuff back in the early radio days. Not early, but I would say like the 80s,
Yeah, man.
70s, 80s, even 90s, I think. For a little bit, you wanted to get a record on, the record guy would bring some cocaine
Bring a little
along.
toot.
Yep. So, Foodie, what do you have on the menu when you're down in the basement?
Oh. Well, tomorrow I got subs for lunch.
Look at this.
Bellas.
Look at this.
Bells are
Already
good, yeah.
bought?
Well, I ordered them.
You'll order them. You'll go and pick them
I'll
up.
pick them up at 11:30.
11:30.
You got one for lunch and one for dinner?
No, we're having
No.
chili for dinner.
Who's making the chili?
The hostess.
Well, the hostess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
She's making the chili. Friday, we haven't decided much of anything.
Okay.
How
but
many
this,
people do you watch with?
It comes and goes. So there's like 3.
is there a secret knock to get into this basement, or what's
Yes.
the?
No,
is.
there is an entry fee.
There's an entry fee?
No, not really. But we make
Covers the
everybody do
food.
it. We make
Cocaine.
everybody do a shot
Okay.
of JMO when they come.
Oh, all right.
I like it.
And why?
And if
shop-
you leave,
yeah.
you have to do one when you come back.
When you come back.
Yeah, there's no re-entry. It's not free. You get
How many TVs are going?
5.
5 TVs. All right.
It's like Greg's basement.
Yeah.
5 TVs. Oh, there's 4 games on at a time. I don't know.
What's the other one on Oprah?
Golf.
I think Greg's got like 7.
Usually some golf.
Yeah.
You may.
He's got more than 7.
Wow, that's pretty
Just
good.
down in the basement.
All right. Well, it's all kicks off tomorrow
It does.
at noon, and then goes, and the games will play right through. Are there games Sunday?
There are games Sunday. We usually shut it down.
You usually go back home and get normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
This year we have extenuating circumstances.
Okay. All right. Wow, this will be Foodie's theme song. He'll be hearing this in his head for the next couple of nights. We will take a moment. And odor. There's something that 25% of guys worry smell has an odor to it. We'll see if Laura has ever discovered this. We'll get to it next.
Are you one of these guys that tapes one